Now we're told this all started in Clinton, where police say the two escaped inmates stole a man's white F-150 truck. If you were with us last night, you saw that there was another shooting on Pine Lake Drive, which is just a couple streets over, so this is very close. This is in the same area of another shooting that just happened 24 hours ago. With up to 1,000 vendors, the Canton mayor says this market brings in up to tens of thousands of dollars for the city. State and local agencies were out here for nearly 12 hours today. Now, they did just clear the scene, but earlier today, men in hazmat suits were going up and down these stairs behind me. I am out here on Lee Road, where, as you can see, this is just one of 51 vehicles that were shot out by BB guns. Nearly 200 miles from the Homachita National Forest, oil has leaked from 9 tanks in this area. This is Unity, Mississippi's first Pride event ever, and it just so happens to fall on a day they really have something to celebrate. If you live in South Jackson or Byram, listen up, because this information has to do with your drinking water. The city of Jackson is temporarily switching to the well water system in South Jackson and Byram as they work to find a water main break. A man is stabbed to death overnight in Jackson, and police say they arrested someone in connection to this killing. It happened at Pine Apartments on Watkins Drive, and police say 23-year-old Calvin Phillips Jr. was stabbed multiple times. It's a sight that you hardly ever see. As Madison police were on a manhunt this morning, the suspect's family was working with authorities to get him to surrender. We are out here on the intersection of Collier and Edwards Avenue, where it's the early stages of a shooting investigation, and we're here with Chief Lee Vance of the Jackson Police Department. Chief Vance, what can you tell us so far? A Yazoo County deputy is recovering tonight after responding to an accident, and he ends up in the hospital. A woman is dead this afternoon after her car crashes into a tree and bursts into flames. That accident happened on I-55 South near Elton Road. In Jackson, one woman is behind bars, and police are looking for 3 suspects after a man is shot dead. Police say a man was gunned down in the parking lot of the American Star Inn Saturday night. He was taken to UMC, where he died shortly after. Pickering says it was one of the dirtiest races he's ever fought, but the 2-term incumbent pulled off another win as the Republican nominee for state auditor. 3 million. That's how many chickens have been killed by the bird flu this year alone. This is probably the largest outbreak of a disease of this nature in over 30 years in the United States. State veterinarian Dr. Jim Watson says avian influenza originated when birds from Asia and North America combined their strains of the virus. Then the highly contagious virus started to spread in December on the West Coast. That one bird doesn't just keep it. It spreads to all of them. There's no treatment for it, so it approaches 100% mortality. Although researchers are still studying the virus, Dr. Watson says this virus could be airborne for short distances. Our concern is in the fall and the winter, as the migration of ducks and waterfowl come down the Mississippi River flyway, then our industry could potentially be exposed. Even though the bird flu hasn't hit our state, Mark Leggett, president of Mississippi Poultry Association, says we are still feeling an impact.
Effect at the moment has been, as demand for eggs remains high, the supply has been cut back a little bit.
Meaning egg prices are rising.
The price has risen about 50 to 80 cents at retail per dozen since the first of the year.
As it stands right now, eggs and chickens are the state's largest agricultural industry, bringing in $6 billion a year. But if bird flu hits, Leggett says the economy will feel it.
You might need less chickens, therefore that would kind of ripple through the economy. You'd need less feed, and there'd be less payments to farmers.
Local bakery shop owner Mitchell Moore says even if egg prices continue to rise, it won't stop him from purchasing tens of dozens per week.
I still have to have eggs, so I would still keep buying eggs. I just have to pay more for them.
At least the last 2 or 3 years. This is not just started. He's been coming home.
Do have people that slip through the cracks. So if the investigation shows that it happened on this watch or during my administration, then we're prepared to deal with it.
A real-life get-out-of-jail-free card. Family members claim convicted murderer Jerry Mack was coming home at least once a week in a Hinds County vehicle.
And he was by himself. Every time I see him, he's by himself.
The 49-year-old was convicted of killing a man and injuring another back in 1996. He's been serving a life sentence and 20 years for aggravated assault and 3 years for possession of cocaine ever since. Mack's niece, Alicia Aldridge, lives on Champion Hill Road outside of Edwards with the rest of the family. She says deputies gave Mack permission to take the county truck.
They allow him to come home. They allow him to, do different things outside of the jail for them.
And I can confirm that there was vehicle use. I can confirm that they do get 72-hour passes based on good behavior.
During this lead, do they take the county vehicle? How does that work?
No. They're either picked up by whoever they're supposed to be staying with, and we have to have that information so we can put our hands on them.
The Mississippi Department of Corrections removed Mack from Hinds County custody Wednesday after hearing that he was using a county vehicle on his own time. However, the family says this isn't something that's new.
So he can come and go in a county vehicle and nobody noticed that for years? There's no way.
A family friend who doesn't want to be identified says he saw Mack just a couple days ago and he figured he was out of jail.
But he was riding around like nothing going on.
He works on cars, housework, whatever, anybody around here need him to do. If he can do it, he'll help.
Family members say Mack wasn't doing anything wrong by leaving the jail on a weekly basis. Hinds County Sheriff Tyrone Lewis points to the previous administration for these problems.
He hadn't done anything wrong since he's been free, but doing what they allow him to do and what they tell him to do.
We did not allow that, do not allow it. We're going to make sure that we abide by the rules and regulations and the statute. So if that comes out in the investigation that was done in this administration, then we're prepared to deal with it.
And Byron, according to officials with MDOC, when Mack was transferred to Central Mississippi Correctional Facility, he had more than $400 in his pocket, a cell phone, and a valid driver's license, along with a knife and a box cutter. Well, MDOC is still investigating these allegations.
All right, thanks, and of course, you're going to have much more on this at 6 o'clock.
Yes, 6 and 10 o'clock.
All right, thanks.
Take a look at these pictures. This is a dog fighting ring posted by the very people who set it up and were later arrested. And then these pictures, a shiny necklace, leather belt, new shoes, all posted on either Facebook or Instagram, not by the people who bought them, instead by the people who stole them.
It was bizarre in the beginning, but it's become a great investigative tool.
That's Clinton Police Detective Josh Frazier. He says he never expected to be using social media to catch criminals.
People put a lot of stuff on the internet that they shouldn't. And people don't understand that everything they put on there is there forever.
The department started using Facebook about 3 years ago.
When selfies really came into a fad is when we started using it really a lot because we could get up-to-date pictures of people we were looking for.
Detective Frazier says they set up fake accounts to become friends with suspects.
And we're friends with a lot of people we've arrested, and they just don't know it.
Here's a recent example of an arrest where police used social media to catch a man they say stole this necklace. You could see he's not shy about showing it off to the camera.
That's how everybody getting caught, on Facebook and Instagram. That's it. Why you gonna post something like that and you out here doing wrong, so that's up to them. They want to get caught.
Movies make it glamorous to live the criminal life, but in actuality, when you look for a potential job and when you go on in your life, social media will become a thing that hurts you.
It's also a tool for crime victims. This is Therese White, and what you're seeing are pictures posted to Instagram of a stolen pair of shoes and a belt, both recognized by the person who actually owns them. They simply picked up the phone and told police who had them.
For some reason or another, people have a certain anonymity behind the keyboard. And I don't really understand why, but they do. And they post some silly stuff sometimes.
While it's proven effective to create fake accounts through Facebook and here on Instagram, an app even more devoted to pictures and videos than even Facebook. Some believe privacy is at stake. Do you think they should be allowed to do that?
No.
And why?
There ain't no privacy.
Anything you put on the internet is for the public to view, and it can be obtained, and if you're posting illegal activity, we're going to use it against you.